Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at something that is absolutely fundamental to our daily lives, yet, honestly, it's incredibly fascinating. We're talking about the direct biological link between what we eat and how our brains actually function. We all know food gives us energy, right? But today, we are going to look at the literal, physical blueprint of the mind. Okay, let's dive into this. Imagine this kind of wild thought experiment with me for a second. What if you sucked all the moisture out of your brain? I know, it sounds literally like a sci-fi movie, but if we actually removed all the water and broke the brain down to just its core nutritional content, what would be left behind? What actually builds the physical hardware of your thoughts, your feelings, and your everyday focus? Well, if you look at a dehydrated brain, it's basically composed of four main components. As you can see, the largest share by far is fats, also known as lipids. Most of the weight of your dehydrated brain comes straight from these fats. Then, in the remaining matter, you find proteins and amino acids, little traces of micronutrients, and glucose. Now, obviously, the brain is way more than just the sum of its nutritional parts, but here is exactly why this matters to you right now. Each one of these components has a very distinct impact on your brain's functioning, its development, your overall mood, and your energy. So you know that dreaded post-lunch apathy where you just want to take a nap? That could simply be the immediate, tangible effect of the food you just ate acting on this exact biological blueprint. Let's move to and see how this builds our adorable roadmap for reverse engineering the brain's complete nutritional blueprint. We've got Section 1, fats, our structural superstars; 2, proteins, the mood makers; 3, micronutrients, the protectors; and 4, carbohydrates, fueling the engine. Starting right off with Section 1, fats, the structural superstars. Let's look at the absolute superstars of the fat category, omegas 3 and 6. These essential fatty acids are absolutely critical. And what's really interesting here is that your body actually cannot make them on its own. They literally must come directly from your diet. So, eating omega-rich foods, think nuts, seeds, fatty fish, that is absolutely crucial for the creation and maintenance of your brain's happy little cell membranes. By feeding your brain these specific structural materials, you're giving it exactly what it needs to build strong, healthy cells. Plus, these essential fatty acids have been explicitly linked to preventing degenerative brain conditions as we get older, which is a massive win. And this brilliantly illustrates the stark difference between the good fats your brain absolutely loves and the bad fats that can really hurt it. Omegas 3 and 6 actively prevent degeneration and build up those vital cell membranes. On the flip side, though, long-term consumption of trans and saturated fats may actively compromise your brain's long-term health. It's really just a matter of choosing the right building materials for the house your mind lives in, you know? All right, moving smoothly into Section 2, proteins and amino acids, the mood makers. So just as a quick, friendly refresher, neurotransmitters are essentially these tiny chemical messengers that carry signals between the neurons in your brain. Think of them as the hardworking couriers of your nervous system. They directly manipulate and affect profound things like your mood, your sleep quality, how attentive you are, and even your weight. And here's the connection. Amino acids, which come straight from the protein we eat, contain the exact precursors your brain needs to create these vital neurotransmitters. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the incredible competitive journey these amino acids actually take. You see, it's not just a free pass into the brain. First, the amino acids from your food enter your body, but then they literally have to compete for limited access to your brain cells. Getting past the bouncers into the brain is really tricky. But once they do get in, the complex combinations of compounds from your food stimulate your brain cells to release mood-altering chemicals like norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin. This biological competition is exactly why you might feel totally calm and maybe a little sleepy after eating a huge plate of pasta, or super sharp and highly alert after a protein-rich meal. Your food is literally dictating which messengers win the race. And because these amino acids are constantly competing to trigger different moods, eating a varied diet helps maintain a balanced combination of brain messengers. That variety right there is the tangible human payoff. It's the secret to keeping your mood wonderfully balanced and preventing it from swinging way too far in any one direction. It essentially keeps you emotionally steady throughout the day. Next up, Section 3, micronutrients, our brain protectors. These powerful little defenders are absolutely vital for keeping our minds sharp. Let's walk through this tiny but mighty maintenance crew. First up, we have antioxidants, which you'll find abundantly in fruits and vegetables. Their primary job is to strengthen the brain to fight off free radicals that actively try to destroy your brain cells. Having enough antioxidants enables your brain to work beautifully and efficiently for a much longer period of time. Next, we have vitamins B6, B12, and folic acid. I mean, without these powerful micronutrients, our brains would be highly susceptible to disease and mental decline. And finally, we have trace amounts of minerals like iron, copper, zinc, and sodium. Even though we literally only need trace amounts of them, they are absolutely fundamental to overall brain health and early cognitive development.
And finally, that brings us to section 4, carbohydrates, fueling the engine.
Get this, the human brain only makes up about 2% of our total body weight. 2%. It's tiny in the grand scheme of your body. Yet, crazy enough, it hoovers up an astonishing 20% of all our energy resources. It is by far the most energy-demanding organ you possess.
And most of this immense energy comes directly from carbohydrates that our body digests into blood sugar or glucose. So if you've ever experienced that dreadful brain fog, it's actually because the frontal lobes of your brain are incredibly sensitive to drops in glucose. A sudden feeling of fuzziness or hitting a mental wall isn't just you being tired, it's actually an early warning signal of a nutrient deficiency. Your brain is literally sounding the alarm that the fuel tank is running completely dry. Now, assuming we are getting glucose regularly, we have to look closely at the type of carbohydrates we're actually feeding the engine. Carbs basically come in 3 distinct forms: starch, sugar, and fiber. And while most nutrition labels will just lump these all together into one total carb count, it's actually the specific ratio of sugar and fiber that dictates exactly how your body and your brain will respond. That ratio is the secret code to unlocking sustained, happy energy. So the crucial point is that the difference in these carbohydrate types is massive. A high glycemic food, like, say, white bread, causes this rapid, massive release of glucose right into the blood. You get a quick rush, but then comes the inevitable, nasty dip. Your blood sugar shoots down and it drags your attention span and your mood right down with it into a total crash. On the other hand, low glycemic foods like oats, grains, and legumes, they work completely differently. They enable a slow, beautiful, steady release of glucose into your bloodstream. And this provides a constant, reliable level of steady focus and sustained brain power. So we've covered the fats that build the structure, the proteins that manage your mood, the micronutrients that protect the cells, and those steady carbohydrates that fuel the whole engine. I want to leave you with this really powerful thought. When it comes to what you bite, chew, and swallow, your choices have a direct and long-lasting effect on the most powerful organ in your body. I absolutely love that knowledge. Your brain isn't just some static machine you were born with. It is an incredibly active, living organ that is continuously built, repaired, and nurtured by the conscious dietary choices you make every single day. By opting for a beautifully varied diet of vibrant, nutrient-rich foods, you're literally giving your brain the best possible tools to thrive. So, I'll leave you with this final, warm, thought-provoking question to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. What will you feed your mind today? Thank you so much for joining me. Keep learning, keep eating well, and I will see you next time.